Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici, welcome my friends. My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Well, this is just another one of those series of reviews that you'll be seeing while probably I'm somewhere in Europe. I can't give you the exact date when this will be published, where this video is going to be published, but I can assure you that by the time it gets on air or is posted, I will be in Italy somewhere enjoying that beautiful country of mine. And you know what? We'll be back soon and we'll share some of the stuff that we saw down there, especially fountain pen related. In the meantime, I've got a little bit of a gem for you, another starter pen. And you know, we're getting into the month of August very soon, and before you know it, it will be, you know, back to school. And some students, you know, who are interested in using fountain pens, you know, and can't afford the big expensive ones, I think this is a nice little starter pen that competes with others, and we'll see the pen comparison soon. So it's from Endless. It's the Endless Captiva. I think it's a fine little pen, and I think that nib is going to surprise you all, folks. So stay tuned for my review. Okay, so we're back with the pen. This is the box that it came in. So as you can see, Endless, and of course the main feature, or the feature of this pen that they're trying to sell is this torque converter, which we will take a look at. It's called the Captiva all new torque filler fountain pen, and we'll see what that means in a second. Crafted for creators. We've got some information at the back end here. When you open up, just a fine little paper box, nothing special. You have a description of the pen, instructions how to ink it, and that's it. That's it for this little brochure. It's tightly fitted into this rubberized slot. So that's, let me just put away the instructions. I keep all my boxes, so there you have it. That will be stored. And here, of course, is the pen. So there you have it. Nice little pen, a little bit on the light side. That's the first thing you notice, is that it is light. So I would definitely refer to this pen as a low cost starter student type pen. Very nice. The build quality is nice. There's no extravagant trimmings of any sort, I would tell you. Very plain, classic looking. I chose the black color. I think it comes in dark green, dark blue, and in this black. So there you have it. You've got a kind of a steel finial there. At the other end, just a smaller one. And it's really part of this torque that turns, the turning mechanism, if you will. There is an ink window right there, so you can see the ink. Let's see. So other than that, there's nothing, The ink window, by the way, is double-sided, so it facilitates viewing the ink. Let me just see how many turns to unscrew this cap. That's 1. That's 2. So it's 2.5. To reveal this number 6 size nib, now I can't figure out whether or not this is an endless in-house nib. If I had to give a guess, I would probably say it's a Bach nib, or just the way it looks and the way it writes. But as you'll see in just a few minutes, this is probably one of the highlights of this pen. There you have it. The pen is, small, but comfortable, regular size. I have big hands. It's got a little bit of a flare. That thread is absolutely smooth. Can it be capped? Yes, it can, and it goes right over that torque, system filler system, so it doesn't affect it at all. And when you cap it, it's just beautiful in terms of comfort and writing experience. Very, very nice. I've got to tell you, great dimensions, capped, so it can be used capped. So those students who want to take notes in a class and need to cap that cap, it's just perfect. Very, very nice. Now let's get to that torque system. You can open up, of course, the pen, and you'll see that there is a converter, and at the end of that converter is that torque system. Now I've filled the pen, so I can't turn it. It's a Schmidt nib, and it has this mechanism right there, which when you screw in the barrel, you can actually ink your pen by using this torque here without having to remove the barrel. So that's the novelty. This is the first time I've seen it that way. There you have it. Nothing more to it, nothing less. I think that, it's the acrylic is nice. Does this thing line up? Not quite, but I got a feeling that there's probably a way to do it so that you will line up. For those of us who are particular about these things, there must be a way to get that ink window to line up with that clip. But it doesn't bother me, frankly. So good luck for anyone, and I'm sure some of you will say, "Oh, you got to do this, that," and I will have the answer. But I've not spent the time, frankly, to kind of see what it is that needs to be done. But there you have it. It either doesn't line up, or you need to have that little trick. That's that for that. So that's the pen on the outside and in the inside. So why don't we do a pen comparison? I've taken out some starter pens, low-cost starter pens that we are all familiar with. I will put the Captiva at the end here. Let me just get my pointer. Here we go. So this is the brand new Tutsu from Sailor that I recently reviewed. This is the Faber-Castell grip that I reviewed along with this Faber-Castell EXO, which is a beautiful pen, by the way, folks. Here you have your All-Star or Safari, if you will, All-Star Safari from Lamy. You have your TWSBI Echo, and here's your Endless Captiva. So you can see it rivals the others. It is a little bit thinner than all of these pens, I would say to you. So it's not the same girth, but other than that, in terms of size, capped, it's pretty well, the same size as your Safari and your TWSBI Echo, which are amongst the biggest ones in these six. So, okay, so here are the same pens uncapped and unposted, and you see that the Captiva is really the smallest one, along with, I would say, the EXO, the Faber-Castell EXO here. And really, both of these pens are great posters, so I think this pen is meant to be used posted, especially for students taking notes in the classroom. Don't want to lose that cap, don't know where to put it. Well, it's there. Okay, so those are that's the comparison, uncapped and unposted. Here are the pens capped, and these are ridiculously long, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and frankly are not the best writers posted in my view. Thank God they're light, otherwise they would be back weighted. in my view, the best writing experience comes from this Exo and from this Captiva because they're good posted pens that write really comfortably posted. So there you have it. It's one of the characteristics that I like best about this Captiva. And with the nib, as we shall see in just a few minutes. Speaking of nib, we will do some measurements and then we'll get to that writing sample. Be right back. Okay, so we're back with the writing sample. First of all, with the ink, frankly, folks, I had inked that pen some time ago and I just forgot what ink I put on it. But based on, I did some testing. I believe it is this Dominant Industry Dominant Blue, just because of the rich sheen that you will see from that writing sample that we will do in a minute. I believe it's Dominant Blue. And again, I apologize, but you'll see it's a dark blue with a real deep red sheen. So there you have it. But let's do the writing sample. I will, of course, post this pen. As I mentioned, I think that's one of its best features. So there we have it. This is the Endless Captiva. And it's the black model. The nib, again, I'm not sure, but it's a number 6 steel, that's for sure. And this is a medium. I'm not sure if it's a Bach, but I'm guessing it's Bach. I'm not I'm almost sure that it's not an in-house nib. But I could be wrong. Some of you will correct me if I'm wrong. The ink, I'll put 2 question marks, but I believe it's Dominant Industry. Dominant Blue. Now, very wet, very nice for a medium nib. Most constant, I got to tell you, whether it's up, whether it's side, whether it's backwards, whether it's this way, or it's just really consistent, or that's me. Fast writing. As you can see, really follows nicely. Reverse. Yeah, you get a fine line. Little scratch, not scratchy, a lot of feedback, but doable. In fact, follows very nicely. So this is very smooth. Very wet. And very consistent. Likes and dislikes. Okay. For a starter pen, I think that the build quality, and I've corrected myself, it's not build, it's build quality, as one of the viewers pointed out, and rightly so. The design is a classic design, but I think it's an original design, especially that torque mechanism. It's a nice little touch, I think. And you know what? It gives it a little bit of weight, so it's a nice touch. The way it caps, or the way it posts, the nib is a plus, very finely tuned, okay? It's got an ink window. The only dislike, frankly, I have about this pen, I mean, it's a starter pen. So, as a starter pen, you expect that it be light, and that the materials are not this, deep resin, obviously. Otherwise, it would be reflected in the price. But having said that, I think it's a little pricey. I saw it last I think it's Pen Chalet that might be selling it the least. And I saw it at $50, 52 US, which is roughly, almost $80 Canadian. I think that's a little bit too much for a starter pen like this. I think you can get, nicer and nicer starter pens for much, much less. So that, I would say, is the only dislike that I have. Is this going to be a go-to pen? Yes, absolutely. 10 on 10. Writes very nicely. It's a pen that you can put in your bag. Don't have to worry about, an expensive $1,000 pen, going around with you. So, and for students, I think this is absolutely ideal. So there you have it. That's my review, folks. Let me just push it all to the center here. And I think it's a nice little pen. Like I said, if you can afford that $52 US, I know for us Canadians, $80, I think it's a little bit steep, frankly, folks. But there's my review of the Endless Captiva. Another pen review, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Nice little pen. Nice little pen, especially the nib. The nib and the posting, I think, folks, can't beat. Can't beat. So there you have it. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Stay tuned for my next videos. In a couple of weeks, I'll be back from my vacation, and we will take a look at everything that we managed to see in the wonderful countries of France, Spain, and Italy. So stay tuned, folks. Arrivederci.